Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to round 5 of ZAD's F1 Tour in ACC. My name is Shim. I'm your caster for tonight's race. It's good to be back. I've missed the last couple weeks for various reasons, but I am back for the big race this week at the Hungaroring. We've got 90 minutes of racing ahead of you with a 7-minute qualifying session beforehand. Our drivers, while they have the 90-minute race, do not have any mandatory pit stops or mandatory tire changes, fuel load additions. None of that is mandatory for today's race. But with it being such a long race, our drivers are either A, going to have to utilize their tire and fuel management to the maximum, or B, they are going to have to take a stop. Looking at one driver right here, our championship leader, Christopher Larson, got news that he might be trying tonight for a one-stop strategy, or actually, sorry, a no-stop strategy, going maximum fuel saving and tire saving the whole race to avoid taking the pit stop. We'll see if that's able to pay off, and whether rain or weather might affect that strategy. Looking at our standings right now, though, this is something that I've wanted to bring up now that we are a little bit further into the season. We have only 3 rounds after this, but at the Hungaroring now, round 5, if we go to our standings currently, and I bring that up on the board here for everyone to see. At the top of our standings, we have Christopher Larson, who is sitting at 228 points. Close behind, though, a lot closer than I think a lot of people might expect, is KP Kenneth Portis, who is currently sitting at 216 points. Definitely within the realm of being able to grab a few more points on Larson tonight, especially if he goes for that zero-stop strategy. We'll see how Portis is able to manage that. Also, given the last race at the second race at Paul Ricard last week, Larson did seem to have a little bit of trouble, so only finished P8, whereas Portis was able to finish P2. So that definitely got him back up, got him some points in the championship. A little bit further down in points, we have Guescio sits at 159, who might be fighting with Reed with 147. You could see a fight with those two going into the end of this season. A couple drivers very close together. Tight in points is Turnbull, Englander, and Yao. Right now, only 2 points away from each other. And even with that, drivers like Friesen, Fletcher, Pitch, they might be able to, gain some standings if they have some good next races. I know Fletcher has missed a few rounds, and I think Friesen definitely struggles from some inconsistency on track. As you can see, definitely able to finish in the top 10, but hasn't really been able to perform very well. I think damage and other things have really hindered his races this season so far. And as we go even further down into our rankings, a lot of these drivers are incredibly close. When you get down to Pitch, Flores, Fender, all within, 5 points, 6 points of each other. Then you got Griffith, Rodman tied up. Brown, Nunez, and Valero tied up. Todd is just 1 point back. So all of our drivers are very close in our standings, and we seem to really have battles along the whole stretch of our standings board. So really turning out to be a great season so far for racing. Definitely our drivers are having good competition all throughout the standings. So that's what we like to see. That's what we like to foster here at Zealous Racing League. Let's take a look at some of our drivers here, though. There's KP, currently setting the fastest time. I think Larson there is trying to maybe figure out his strategy for the no stop. See how fast he can go with fuel saving and all. Driver who could be very rapid today is Nunez. In that Audi. Audi is strong here at the Hungaroring. Got James Turnbull running third right now in the free practice timings. Reed, not currently out there, but setting the fourth fastest time. Let's see if Flores is out. Doesn't appear so. There we have one of our ZRL admins, Calvin Wolf, in that ZAD livery. That ZRL livery for the Aston Martin. Looks mighty fine if I don't say so myself. Coming in behind him in the other Audi is Baudry. Toby Yao currently on track. Toby got my favorite livery of the season. I love the anime themed livery. Don't see it much in ACC, but I love the rep. Way to go, Yao. Keep up the good work. Driving that beautiful BMW M4. Really enjoy that car. But like I had mentioned, I've been out for a few weeks, so I haven't been able to do the streams recently. And I will also be out next week, sadly, too, for our race at, I want to say, at Zandvoort. I'm a little disappointed in that one. Zandvoort is a race I have yet to see on the ZRL calendar, but since we are doing this season all of the Formula One tracks that we can, we see Zandvoort come up on the docket. That being said, Zandvoort is kind of a tricky track to pass on, and this track is no different. I think where the Hungaroring really thrives is where you can use your pit stop strategy and possibly wet weather racing ability to gain an upper edge. Definitely a good chance for rain today. I don't believe we've seen rain yet. And I know a lot of drivers have been asking for rain, myself included. Even though I know I'm not a driver, I love to see rain races. We got Fender in the Mercedes. But yeah, a track like the Hungaroring, a track like Zandvoort, not a lot of opportunities to pass on those tracks. Definitely have to get position either very carefully on track, or you have to do it, or you're going to have to do it with a pit stop strategy of some sort. Try to get an overcut or an undercut. But with a 90-minute race today, things should be fairly interesting. I'm interested to see what our drivers decide to do. I think the most popular strategy is going to be doing a one-stop strategy. But I think with a lot of drivers, it's the question then of whether they want to fill up with more fuel at the beginning or less fuel at the beginning, and have their pit stop be a little bit longer with hopes of maybe getting track position or something earlier with a little bit lighter weight car. I'm of the mindset that I don't really think it's usually as good of an idea to spend as much time in the pits. I think you want to have as short of a pit stop as possible. But I know some drivers are definitely feel the difference of heavy and light cars better than probably I have. That being said, I haven't raced in a long race in ACC in a long time. I think the last time I've raced in a long race is our last double points race, which would have been, gosh, season 7 maybe for myself, season 7 or 8. and we were at Kyalami. I guess that's another thing I should note. This race is our double points race for the season. Every season we do have a double points race. Generally, our double points race is at Kyalami, but with Kyalami not on the Formula One calendar, we decided to, for I believe the first time since ZRL has run ACC leagues, not included Kyalami on the calendar this season, and it is not our double point race. So, Hungaroring takes its place. I think it's a really great opportunity for our drivers to really pull out the best their strategy and driving has to offer. And as we wind down last 2 minutes of free practice here, I just want to remind everyone that is watching, one, thank you for coming out tonight and watching the race. I do apologize for the lack of streams for the last few weeks. Sometimes things are out of my control and we can't find somebody to fill in. But I do appreciate your support, and if you are interested in learning more about the Zealous Racing League community, and if you are a driver and want to race with us in the future, be sure to like and follow our Facebook and Twitter pages, as well as join the Discord. Links of which can all be found at the homepage of our YouTube channel that you're watching this stream on now. Join the discussion, join the community. We're always here to help new, old drivers find a community to race with and also answer any questions that you might have. As you can see by a lot of our standings and a lot of our timetable results, we have drivers from varying skill levels, varying speeds on the track, but we like to provide the best experience we can for as many people. We hope everyone has somebody to battle with and somebody to race with, and that has definitely been true this season. We want to provide a relaxed, laid-back place where folks can enjoy racing, enjoy driving, and do it with like-minded people. As we watch Griffith here in the McLaren, the Gears and Beers McLaren, make his way around. Got one more lap that he can complete. We'll see if he decides to complete another or not. Other drivers we have out on the track right now. See who we can find. Bowdry is the furthest back so far. 24 car of Griffith is in the pits. 118 car seems to be having a little bit of trouble. Yeah, he's going to go for one more lap of free practice here, as our drivers are still entitled to a couple minutes after the time goes out, and it looks like Yao is going to omit that lap right there as we have Bowdry cross the finish line. And here we go. There we are for now 7 minutes of qualifying. Let's see where our drivers come out. And let's see, Pinio, I thought might have been the first driver out. And indeed, he is. Glenn Pinio. Oh, wait. I spoke too soon. It's actually Christopher Larson. Maybe spoke too soon. But you know what? We follow Larson and Portis almost every single time. So what we're going to do this time is we'll follow Glenn. We'll put the pressure on Glenn and see what he can do in that Mercedes AMG. Seems to have found a car he enjoys. Glenn, who's been racing with Zealous for a few seasons now. Usually like to follow somebody on their first hot lap so we can get a lay of the land. Hungaroring is a more downforce focused course. So our drivers are going to be definitely focusing their cars to have the maximum downforce they can, so that they can get the best turning ability, best grip on track, I should say, actually, possible. And as we go in to Glenn's car here, watching him as he turns the final corner here, hugging it nice and close, and here he goes for his first fast lap down the start-finish straight. Pit lane there on the right. Braking just before that little billboard there. Maybe could have broke it a little bit later. Trying to hug that inside corner. Gas as early as possible for that right-hander. Down another little straight here into a kind of strange downhill turn here. And then you want to go flat out into that little kink down what is kind of a back straight, I guess. Into another kink, very tricky kink. Decides to downshift, may have gone off track there. Definitely very tricky to manage that. And grip is very difficult to manage on a lot of these long turns as well. Long right-hander there. Into the chicane here, trying to cut as much of the chicane as possible. Into the S's. Goes left and right and left and right. Trying to keep the momentum here on this right-hander. Not much on the brake there. And brake just as you get to the curbing there. Setting a clean lap. Use all of the curbing you can there into the first hairpin. Kind of have to double apex this turn here. And you can actually go fairly deep into this last right-hander here. Gas early as possible to get the most momentum down the straight. And here we have Pinio setting a invalidated lap. I think when he went off in that kink there, that's what did it. Larson currently has the fastest lap of the session, about a tenth and a half faster than Portis right behind him. As we look back, Nunez, Reed, Valero, Fletcher, Flores. Englander goes fourth fastest. There's Englander. Oh, Goetia goes fourth fastest now. Englander is in the server now, rocking that amazing AMG decal, the Black Panther decal. I honestly, you know, if I wasn't such an anime boy, I'd say Englander has the cleanest look of all this season. That very simple Panther cheetah print on that AMG looks very slick. Looking to set a good lap there. Englander has been awfully fast in the AMG this season so far. Has a couple of podium finishes already in the first two rounds. Watching some of the other drivers. Rodman has yet to go out. Collis has yet to go out. Wolf right there in the middle. ZRL admin. And as we see here, Portis is now the fastest driver on track. Went 2/10 faster than Larson. So it's going to be a battle between those two. These drivers only have maybe one lap to maybe 3 laps to set a good racing lap. Watching Yao here. And even then, let's even go to Portis here. as Portis and Larson look to try and set faster laps than each other. Looks like Portis is a little bit faster first sector. And let's see here, this last. So best laps by Portis set a better first and last sector. So we'll see if Portis is able to gain any time on Larson as they hopefully cross. Are they able to complete one more? They just cross. They're going to be able to complete another. Larson goes one better, barely one better. They are less than a tenth away from each other. Only 7 minutes of qualifying for this race. Just because we have such a long race, going to be plenty of time for our drivers to make up any differences on track. Nunez is going to be P3, locking it in now, unless somebody can do better. Goetia is still on a fast lap, though, and he is Goetia's currently at the hairpin. As these two drivers still battling it out. I think Portis has dropped back a little bit this lap so far. Ooh, Portis gets a little bit squirrely there on that chicane. I wonder if that's going to be good enough for a fastest lap. Might not be. Don't think he's going to be able to do it. Goetia isn't able to go one better than Nunez, so Nunez will lock down P3 as of right now. Goetia P4, Valero P5, Wolf P6, Englander 7, Yao 8. Battle now is for this last these top two positions here. For all you watching in the chat, be sure to show your support for your favorite driver, excuse me. Got a long race ahead of us. Here we are, down the start-finish straight, and Portis is not able to do one better. That it was that little bit of an incident there, but here we go. Our drivers now have 2.5 minutes to get everything together before the race. Starting order will be Larson. Portis, Nunez, Goetia, Valero, Wolf, Englander, Yao, Turnbull and Reed, Friesen and Flores, Carlos Flores, Dustin Fletcher, and Cromier, Fender and Christopher Flores, Beaudry and Pinio, Brown and Polgarin, Griffith, Rodman, and last but not least, Collis. 1 minute left for our drivers as they prep, giving them the moments to make any last minute changes to their setups. And one thing that I need to make sure that I get right is a last name. One thing that I've been notorious for being bad at is getting last names. It's Goetia. I do apologize. It's not Goetia. It's Guaida. Guaida. Gotta make sure to get that ready here. And now, 30 seconds left for our drivers to prep their vehicles for a 90-minute race at the Hungaroring. 90 minutes, no mandatory pit stops, no mandatory tire changes, no mandatory refueling if they can manage the fuel well enough. Will Larson go for a no stop? And we had, oh, Guaida is in the pits. He did not. He did not click the go button. He's going to start the race from the pits. Same with Brown. And here we go as they start the lap. We have a very short lead up here for our drivers. Nunez has got nobody there to battle with, so maybe this might give him a golden opportunity as we watch the drivers come down the start-finish line here. Down into turn one. It's Larson and Portis, ooh, close on contact. Nunez has got the inside line though, and will pull ahead of Portis on turn one, able to make it. Looks like we have some contact in the back there. Bowdry looks to be spinning. Bowdry on the 24 car of Griffith spun out. The Brown is now out. Guaida is now out. Doesn't seem to be any rain currently on the docket for this race, but clouds are in the sky. As we watch our racers, Nunez has been able to hold P2 from Portis there. Not the start that he would have wanted. As we go back a little bit here, let's see who we have in the back. We have Bowdry, Guaida waiting at the pits, Brown, Griffith seemed to have gotten into that little tangle there too. Watching our drivers here though, as they come to the close of the first lap of this race. Cars are close together here still. Gonna want to keep it safe. Nunez made a great move there. Already lost a second though to Larson. See if Portis can get back up in there. Portis might be doing some fuel saving as well. Maybe he's decided that he can go for a no-stop race. I think Larson, with the speed that he's got so far, I don't know if that's going to be a one-stop race there. Looks like we have a battle between Wolf, Yao, Englander looking up the inside now here into turn one. Awfully close. Contact between Yao and Wolf. Englander wide. Wolf will come out ahead. Doesn't seem to have caused too much damage to everyone. Reed able to gain a place on Englander there after he went wide into T1. Turnbull looking in there as well. And we have a pack forming. We've got a couple leaders here. Valero, Portis, Nunez, and Larson. Nunez in a Honda Sandwich tonight, which seems to really be the case for most of these races. Honda is crazy powerful for our drivers. Look back at the battle here. See if anything's going on. See if we have any damage on some of the cars back here. Friesen in the pack. Looks clean so far between all of our drivers. So we watch Larson here. Not sure he's doing a lot of fuel saving. Don't think he's going to be going for the one-stop penalty or the no-stopper today. See if I find any updates on that. I do not have any updates on that so far. And here we are, lap number 3. Nunez has been able to gain a little bit of time on Larson. Maybe Larson is starting to do some fuel saving. Tell you right now, I don't believe Portis and Nunez are going to be doing that. Portis is keeping close to Nunez here, pulling away from Valero. Got some battles in the back here. I say it's the back, but it's really not too far back between Englander, Yao, Reed, Turnbull. Flores is even in the mix there. As we have a car down, it looks like the 138 of Collis, maybe, or maybe it isn't Collis, maybe it's Polgarin pulling back. Watching the battle here. Going back to our leaders, Nunez with a great start, pulling out P2. I think it definitely helped that he didn't have anyone to fight with Guaida having the issue of not clicking start fast enough. There he is running in last place right now, but maybe he's going for a no-stop race. Is not running laps as fast as I know he can. So it could be he's just doing some fuel saving and tire saving now that he has got the time and space to do it. Just set the fastest laps that he can. He is a long way back though, so we'll have to see how that turns out. Looking at some of our drivers here. See our drivers starting to make gaps here for themselves. Definitely still battles going on though. Looks like it was actually Todd Cormier, sorry, that maybe have had an incident. Promoted Friesen and Fletcher up a position. Now Friesen's on the back of Flores here, looking to maybe make a move when he can. And Nunez is getting awfully close to our leader here, holding with him very, very well. Almost don't want to turn away from this battle here at the beginning, at the lead, because Nunez is looking on fire in that Audi. Almost, we're already 7 minutes into the race. So you watch Nunez within a half a second now. Portis now within a second of Nunez. Ooh, Nunez getting awfully close there in the braking zone. And do note for everyone viewing, since this is such a long race, I'll probably be taking a quick break at some point, just to get a drink of water, freshen up for the latter stages of the race. This team of three here is pulling away from a lot of the cars further behind. So we look here, doesn't seem to be any moves made so far. Nunez getting awfully close in the chicane there. And for Nunez, a lot of this just want to stick behind the best he can, I'd say. Because I think he knows that pace-wise, and Goetia sets the fastest lap way back there. Probably helps that he is not impeded by a lot of traffic here. So all he has to do is drive. Unable to make any time there. Looking at our best laps are only 3/10 apart. These drivers are racing within 1/10 though, right now. Hard to make any moves when you're this close, and hard to really pull any fastest laps when you're this close in racing, because you have to be worrying about attacking and defending from the drivers around you. Shout out to Wolf there, P5 currently in that Aston Martin. Definitely one of his best showings I've seen so far, so good on him for being up there in the top 5. And he's pulling a little bit of gap from Yao as well. See if there's any close battles back here. Todd feeling some pressure from Flores behind and Fender. Both of them looking back there. And now Friesen's feeling pressure from Fletcher. Turnbull, Reed, Englander have all kind of pulled away from each other, about a second apart from each other now. Aren't racing nearly as close as they once were. And now we have Larson, Nunez, Portis as they cross for lap number 6. Completed. Nunez in the Honda sandwich. Just sticking with the best that he can. Trying to pull Nunez off the toe there. Nunez doing an excellent job of sticking close to Larson here. This is probably the best defending or the best offense I've seen on Larson so far this season. That being said, I have not seen some of the other races that we've had. But for round 1 and 2, Larson really just drove away with it. As we go back and watch some other battles here. Wolf is now on the back of Valero. See if any move can be made here between these drivers. It's allowed Yao to catch up a little bit. Everyone else is catching up a little bit behind as well. Now that they're reaching a slower car here in Valero. Valero seems to be having a rough time the last few laps. Not really sure what that's about. He has been having clean air. So he's just had to, maybe he was just doing some fuel saving or something of the like. Really is causing him to drop back quite a ways though. And as we come here, see if Wolf can make the move down the start-finish straight. This is probably one of the best places to make a move, but isn't able to stay close. Yao gets awfully close though. Nunez and Larson still battling it out. Nunez sticking awfully close. Oh, and Nunez goes around into the kink. Must have bottomed out the car there. See if he's all right. Doesn't appear to be too much damage on that car. Oh, but that is tragic. Definitely is some damage, though. Tragic for Nunez after racing so well with Larson there. Just got a little bit too close to the edge there into the kink. And that is going to cause him to lose out on P2. Down into P7 now. That'll give Larson a bit of a gap now because Portis was only back a little ways. That'll promote Valero into P3, and here we have a battle between Englander and Yao. Let's see if Englander can make the move. So come down the start-finish straight here. Down into T1. See if Englander can outbrake Yao not going to make it happen. But there's Nunez right behind Englander now. He is ready to get back in there, ready to get those positions back. Wonder if Portis was also maybe just trying to stay back the best he could and conserve some of his fuel and conserve some of his tires. Very close battle here for P5. Hugging that inside line. Gotta watch out there on that turn. Can get very slippery, very easy on that inside line. It's the case with a lot of turns here, just being so long. Really test the car's grip, how well it sticks to the track. Drivers awfully close to each other here. Look at all these four coming in, less than a tenth apart. And there we have Wolf in the lead. And it looks like Englander's trying to look out the outside, but wasn't able to get the line that he desired there. Wants to just stick close. Nunez behind close as well. And down into T1. Is he able to make the move? Might be a little bit too far away. Awfully close racing between these drivers, though. It kind of pushes Yao a little bit offline, squeezes Englander there. Close racing between these drivers. Yao also already had a little bit of contact with Wolf earlier in the race. Very, very difficult to make a move on this track, especially coming off that hairpin. Last corner of the track does not make it easy for drivers to stay close and make the move. Very respectable racing between these drivers though today. Let's maybe look a little bit further back, excuse me, to some battles back here. Fender, Pinio, Flores, and Griffith. Griffith a little wide. It looks like Portis is actually gaining some time here. And let's watch and see if Englander can make this move now. Pulls ahead at last minute there. Yao really comes across the track there. That was a bit of a late move there by Yao. Almost a little bit of like what Lance Stroll did to Alonso though there at Circuit of the Americas a few weeks back. Just kind of pulled out at the last minute there. Now Yao has a compromised line into the kink here. Englander much better off, but this is tough. He's going to have to back out. Makes Yao go wide again. Isn't backing out nearly as much as I thought he was. Englander really not taking what Yao's given him. Englander just has to stay close for maybe another lap. This might be his time, his chance to make the move stick if he can stay close. And Portis is still within a second of Christopher Larson there out in front. Looking at Goetia there, has definitely been able to set some fast laps in the back. Consistent 44s from him. Yao now down, breathing down the neck of Wolf there as they come around the penultimate corner here. See if Englander can get the better run. Don't think he's gonna be close enough. Yep, that is not gonna be close enough to make a move. Yao is not gonna be close enough to Flores, or to Wolf, sorry. Wolf's dropped off a little bit from Valero. Wolf definitely a lot faster out. Slower in, faster out. Taking a nice tight line there. Down the hill. As they hit the second kink there in that little back straight. Wolf running P4 after starting P6, I believe. Nunez has yet to make a move on Englander. Reed has dropped back just a tad. Close racing between these three, Turnbull, Friesen, and Fletcher. Flores has been able to make a move. Or actually, I think that might actually be Turnbull that's made the move. Because yep, there is Flores ahead there. So I think Turnbull was able to make a move stick on someone there. Someone must have lost some positions. Guaida down there is now 17 seconds back from the drivers ahead of him. But he is setting the fastest laps of the race. Larson getting awfully close. Nunez is in the pits. This is going to be his pit stop, I think, for the race. He's going to make those tires last. Bet he hopes he can maybe get some fresh air, but I think he might be a little bit early for that. We'll have to watch him as he comes out. These guys have now pulled a 12-second gap on Valero behind. Yao has made the move on Wolf there. Englander is not far behind though. Yao's really going to be running away now. Wolf is holding up Englander a little bit. As they come into the S's. So there's Nunez coming out of the pits now. He does have some clean air. So he's just going to drive. Figured he's probably getting slowed down right now by the drivers ahead of him. So if he can get some rubber down, get those tires warmed up nice and quick here, should be able to set some fast laps and maybe gain some position from that. Englander awfully squirrely there, very close to Wolf there on the exit, and looks to have a better exit as well. I don't think Wolf is going to battle it too much. Does he have the speed though? I think he does. Englander on the inside into turn one is able to make the move and make it stick on Wolf there. Promoting Wolf to P6, and now he's got to go hunt down Yao again. And Valero in front is also not safe. These drivers are going to be trying to catch up here as quick as they can. Wolf a little wide, down the kink there. They go down the hill. Still no sign of rain as we enter 25 minutes raced. Drivers have been very clean, not a lot of overtaking, but don't think we really expected there to be a ton of overtaking. This track is not known, especially in these GT3 cars, to be very great at overtaking here. Now in maybe a Formula One car with a little bit more downforce and maybe some DRS, ERS management might be able to make it done. Yao goes to the inside. Englander on the outside, sees if he can go the long way around. He is holding. Can he make it stick? I don't think he's going to make it stick. Just went a little bit too wide there. Definitely tough to go on the outside around turn one to make that move stick. Englander goes a bit wide here. Maybe trying to get a better line as he goes down the hill to the back straight, down the kink. Gain some of that time back that he lost trying to make that move on Yao. Looks like Nunez is gaining on Guaida. Getting up to speed here, and it does appear that Nunez is gaining on Guaida. It's going to be tricky for Guaida to really make a lot of ground here, I think, at this race. Just because he started so far back. He's got so much ground to make up. I have to see what he's able to do. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to make the move. Looking back, seeing if there's anything going on back here. Battle-wise, Pinio, Fenders made the move. Todd out in front there. Going a little bit slow in that BMW. German manufacturer show off here. BMW versus Mercedes as they come down the back straight now. Portis sticking with Larson here, a second behind. Ooh, Pinio goes way wide there. And looks like Todd is letting Fender go by. Doesn't want to fight that too much. Friesen feeling the pressure. Remember last time I said Guaida was 17 seconds back. He is 12 seconds back from the back driver now. Well, actually, he's only 4 seconds back, sorry. All right, I imagine our drivers are going to be starting to think about their pit stops here within the next 30 minutes, even though there is no pit window. The window for these tires and for the next set of tires is really going to be within the next 30 minutes or so. Might see some drivers go long with their tires. Might see some drivers pit early with the hopes of defending later on. And then our drivers up here. Yao and Englander are getting awfully close there to Valero. Seeing if Yao can make a move on Valero. Awfully close, Yao now. Within 2/10. Looks on the outside here, down the straight. And a little bit of contact between the two cars there. Gives Englander a chance to peep his way in. Not going to make it work. Sun is coming out now. Don't think we're going to be seeing any rain for today's race, which is a bit disappointing, but that's just how it goes. Portis now, 8/10 back. This herd of cars is 7 seconds ahead of the next pack. We are now just over 30 minutes, in. Bulgarian in the pits, 32 car of Cromier. A little bit of an incident down the start-finish straight there. We are 30 minutes into this race. 90-minute race at the Hungaroring. This is for double points, remember? So the points that our drivers will get be a good benefit, be of good benefit for the future. Drive-through penalty for Pinio. Track limits, possibly, or could be track limits. Do apologize for the yawning and being a little bit exhausted. Just got back from a long plane ride from vacation just today, just a few hours ago actually, so a bit exhausted. But I'm happy to be back home. I'm happy to be watching some racing tonight. I really miss watching these races. I miss racing myself, to be honest, too. Every single time I watch these guys, it makes me want to race myself. So, really exciting. Englander looking on the inside. Not going to have the room, though. But like I said, every single time I watch these guys, it makes me want to race myself. So maybe Portis will let me get out of the commentator's booth for one season. Let me race again. I don't mean that. I love what I'm doing here in the booth. Providing this commentary, providing the stream for all of you to watch. Hope you're enjoying the stream, and be sure to give a shout out in the chat. I am monitoring chat as well. I do get to see that, so if you want to chat, if you want to ask any questions about formats and things like that, do not hesitate to ask. I'm always willing to help, as is our community always willing to help those who have questions about sim racing, about racing, you name it. Get back here. Griffith's getting awfully close. Fletcher's getting awfully close to Friesen there. Wants to make the move. Friesen is making the rear end of that Ferrari as large as he can, though. Holding him off. Fletcher probably is a little bit faster, but Friesen defending well. Able to catch up to Turnbull. Turnbull might be held up by Flores, though. We have our leaders checking in on them. The two Hondas. Portis is keeping great pace to Larson here. Really giving his all. Looking good so far from our drivers. Looking at some of the other drivers we have, seeing if anyone's making moves. Valero. Yao. Good race from Yao this week. P4 currently. Good battles with Englander, P5. Great race from Wolf today, P6. Matthew Reed, pretty uneventful race there in a little bit of a pocket in that Lamborghini, running in P7. Flores now, P9. Maybe P8, sorry, P8. Turnbull. P9. Friesen. P10. Fletcher. Ooh, get a little squirrely there on the exit, but he is currently running P11. It's a great Castrol livery from him there. Fender, also kind of in a bit of a pocket there, running P12. Griffith, P13. After an incident at the beginning, doesn't seem to have damaged his car too much. Seems to be running well. Flores, Christopher Flores, running in 14th. ZRL admin Sean Collis, currently running P15. Bowdry, running P16. Brown, P17. Pinio, P18. Guaita catching up to Pinio here after lap 1, missing the press start button. Nunez having already made a pit stop, so those tires are fresh. He's down in 20, but he's going to be a lot higher up once folks start making their pit stops. Bulgarin running in 21. I believe he's already made a pit stop as well. Cormier, bit of an issue I think he had. So I think maybe he did do a pit stop, maybe not. Definitely is a lot further down the order. Could have made a pit stop already. And last but not least, we got Dale Rodman Jr., the third. Currently sitting right behind Pinio and Guaita there. Back to Larson, our leader. Portis right behind. Hey, Belanger, thanks for tuning in to the stream. When you gonna be racing again? Portis gaining on Larson this lap. Very close between Yao and Englander still as well. See if Englander can make a move this lap. Looks like Boudry is in the pits, making his pit stop at 50 minutes left to race. Getting close to the halfway mark of this race, 90 minutes, so 45 minutes left in the race will be our halfway mark. Getting awfully close between our drivers. Speaking of awfully close, Portis is getting awfully close to Larson. Portis is definitely given Larson a run for his money this week, which I do like to see that happen. Usually it's Portis dominating our leagues, but Larson has really gave Portis a run for his money. So I'd say that Portis is the underdog this season when it comes to this championship battle. Larson has just gone away with it. Also with that little bumper sticker that Larson's got on the back of that Honda, come and take it. It might get you a little bit riled up here and there. And see, nobody's making a pit stop yet in these top two, but Larson definitely lost some ground that last lap to Portis. And Portis has got a great look down the main straight here. Could be. Is he going to look up the inside? He is too far away to make that stick. Larson goes a bit wide into turn one, out of turn one there on the exit. Portis down in the middle. Maybe forcing Larson to go a little bit wide. Not going to work. Larson does hold the line. Gets right back on the racing line there. And able to retain that lead. Portis trying to stay as close as he can, though. Englander's in the pits now. Portis awfully close in the chicane here. Gotta go single file. Not room for two. But if Portis can stay close through this tight section here, the winding and weaving S's at the end of this end of sector 2. Portis is going to be in good shape for maybe another opportunity to look for an overtake down the main straight. Close battles from these two. Englander with a stop-go 30-second penalty. That is too bad. Speeding in the pits. It's going to cost you big time if you make those mistakes. Here we have our leaders doing some great work here. Want to stick around and see if Portis can make a move. it's really in Portis's best interest to stay with Larson the best he can. Because I think having Larson right there does help him keep his pace maybe a little bit better. See how close these two look. Portis gets a little bit better exit there. There they go, round the penultimate corner. Here they are, very close, going down the start-finish straight here. I don't think Larson has to worry this lap, though. Portis pulling back. Too far to make a move this lap. Well, as we have just crossed the halfway point, I think it's a good time to remind all you who are listening, one, thank you for joining us. As I have mentioned, I apologize for not being able to be on the stream earlier the last few rounds, but I'm back now for this week. Looking forward to commentating some more racing. And thank you to all of you who are watching. And if you're interested in joining the Zealous Racing League community, be sure to give us a like and follow on Facebook and Twitter. We've got a car, the number 73 Bowdry. Seems to be having some issues there. Backside of track. Apologies though. Apologies though. But if you're interested in following us and learning more about Zealous Racing League, be sure to give us a like and follow on Facebook and Twitter. And also, if you're interested in joining the community, be sure to join our Discord if you're interested in joining any upcoming leagues or just learning more about the community. Most up-to-date information, the best communication to myself and the rest of the admins is definitely through the Discord. That's where you can meet like-minded sim racers who want to learn and become better together, and come here for a good gentleman's racing league every Tuesday night. So if you're interested, all the links to that are on the homepage of the YouTube channel, which is where you're watching the stream right now. But with that, I think it is about time for me to take a quick break, get some water, and I will try to be back in about 10 minutes or so. In the meantime, enjoy this battle for the lead here between Portis and Larson. Awfully close battle between these two in the Honda. But I'll leave it right here so you guys can see all the action, and I'll be back shortly. Well, howdy, hey everyone. Hope everyone's enjoyed the race so far. It looks to be continuing the battle here for first place between Larson and Portis. Now that I have sufficiently quenched my thirst, it's time to finish out the stream, the last 30 minutes of this race at the Hungaroring. It looks like a lot of our drivers have decided to make their pit stops. Looks like Larson and Portis have yet to make theirs, but they're going to need to do it shortly. It's going to be awfully close for these drivers here. And this is where it's going to get interesting, because now they are catching up to all these back markers. But they, I believe, have yet to make their pit stops. As you can see, a lot of the drivers that have already made their pit stops are setting faster laps now. These two drivers neck and neck, though. Portis has done an absolutely amazing job of keeping with Larson this race, all race long. So huge props to him for really putting up a great show. Looks like Friesen has yet to pit. Valero and Nunez have pit. Nunez able to gain a lot of track position from that. Probably going to be pressuring Valero here soon. Nunez looking to get back there into the podium position places after that that incident when he was in P2. Gonna be tough now though, because Valero's on fresher tires. There you go, Reed letting him pass. Turnbull getting it on Brown there. We have crossed the 30 minutes left in the race. Track is getting a little bit colder. Looking at some of the battles here. Big battle between Nunez and Valero as they come down the start-finish straight here. Nunez wants to make a move, did a little juke there. Don't think it's gonna work though. Sticks his nose out, not gonna work. Isn't close enough to make that stick. Making the move at all. I think Guacia maybe has yet to make his pit stop as well, although he maybe has made his pit stop already. Good to make his way back up to P17 after a bit of an issue there. I think Larson and Portis here going to need to make a pit stop in the near future. They're going to be doing an little splash and dash, I think, too. Don't think they're going to be changing their tires as well. Toby Yao absolutely destroyed his car there. Oh no, must have hit the kink. and the car went round. That is too bad for Toby Yao after a really great race today. Isn't gonna like that outcome. Wolf with the drive-through. I think there may have been contact between Yao and Wolf there. With Yao getting the short end of the stick. And it was probably in that kink area there. 31 car of Wolf now doing his drive-through penalty. Larson Portis still battling. Reed and Flores close. Wolf coming out just ahead of Reed. It's the admin battle, and it's gonna be close. After that drive-through penalty, is it gonna work? Think he will hold it. Wolf will only lose one position there due to the drive-through penalty, but now he's got to battle it out with Flores and Reed. Car in the dirt there. The 53 car of Dale Rodman Jr. Yeah, it is going to be a splash and dash for these drivers. I don't believe they're going to pit for tires at this point. They're going to go this whole hour-and-a-half race, I think, with one set of tires. And nope, not there. With how much they've been pushing this race too, there's just no opportunity for the fuel saving necessary to do a no-stop race. I think it'll need to be done. Beautiful shot there as they come down the hill to the back straight. Turnbull's feeling pressure now. Behind him are the leaders. Battle here in the back. Friesen's been running 47s, whereas the drivers he's been fighting have been running around the 36s or 46s. Could be getting slowed down these last few laps, though. Friesen gonna want to watch out for his strategy here. Don't believe he's pit yet. So you gotta wonder too if these drivers are on fresh tires or if they pit for brand new tires. I mean, maybe you guys already know that, but I seem to have missed that part of the race. Probably was a bit of poor timing in my brake there, but oh well. No harm done. Front end of Flores' car there looks to have quite a bit of damage. Pretty scuffed up. Go back to our leaders here. Larson unable to shake Portis for this whole race. They have been racing non-stop. Which I gotta say, it's pretty incredible that they've been able to stick with each other for so long. Portis definitely better through the chicane there. Larson getting a little uneasy. Tires are probably close to gone, if I had to guess. Go see how close they are here. See if they decide to make a pit stop. Not yet. 20 minutes left in the race. These drivers have yet to make a pit stop. Well, I gotta say, maybe they have made their pit stop, but they just did it earlier when I was gone. But I don't know. I found it hard to believe that these two would do that. Larson looking better out of the kink. Friesen doing well to manage. Friesen in the pits. Gonna want to watch these drivers here. Valero. See, Valero will cross. Turnbull now is the next guy to battle. Friesen's gonna have to get out of the pits, and now he is going. Is he going to beat Turnbull? He is the man that he needs to beat. Let's see if he's able to do it. And as Friesen's out of the pits, it'll happen. Friesen will keep P5 now. Turnbull behind. Good moves from him to make that work. And here come the leaders, awfully close down the hill. Here they come now, out of the kink. Down the hill, back up the hill, into another little kink. It's amazing how close they are able to keep. Portis is making up for time by braking a little bit earlier, a little bit later, I should say. It looks like. But Larson's better out. Battles here. Turnbull and Wolf battling P6. Flores, Fender, Fletcher battling it. Battling it out here as well. But we got to go watch our leaders here. It looks like Larson's pulled ahead here. Not going to make any moves. Going back to Fletcher, looking on the outside of Flores here down the main straight. Fletcher doesn't have any damage, I believe, on that McLaren. And has to brake and does a nice little switcheroo on Flores there. He's got a better line going into the next turn. Staying awfully close, but Flores kind of just takes the space and maintains position there. Good clean racing by those two. Flores did not want to give up that line, and he was still entitled to it. So good racing, good defense by Flores there to hold it off for another lap. Fender laps Brown. Good on Fender. I believe he started a lot further down the order and now has worked his way back up to P9. I think if we actually go to, well, we'll do it later. We'll see what those qualifying positions were. Apologies. Rodman and Bell. Oh, we do have Belanger in the pits, but I think he's just spectating for now. Bulgarian with the drive-through. Looks like Portis is now in the pits. Larson be staying out. Larson's maybe got one more lap of it. Now it comes down to who's been managing their tires better. I think Portis is doing a splash and dash for fuel. Larson will be doing the same. It's going to be important to see where these guys pan out now. See how many more laps Larson can do here as we watch Portis now coming around turn 1. Watch Portis here. If you look at the track map there, Larson is in the S's right now, which is a little bit slower part of the track. Portis is on the faster part, catching up now. There he goes. Making the move. Portis might be a little better off, doesn't have to fill up his car with nearly as much fuel, possibly. We'll see what happens here, and Larson is going around for another lap here. This is a little bit better for Portis too, because Larson is in traffic and has been in traffic. Does have some clear road now, but he's been held up here for a while. Turnbull has caught up to Friesen. Friesen on very old tires now, but he has also had to let some cars pass. We go Portis now, coming around the last turn. This is going to be a tight battle here. 15 minutes left, 14 minutes left in the race. Not too many laps left. See if Friesen's able to hold off Turnbull here. Got a close battle. Wolf battling now Turnbull. These three are awfully close now. Old tires of Friesen have got to hold out now. He's got a better chance of defending here too. Now Larson, seeing what his last lap was, a 45. And he goes around for another one. Let's watch Portis now. Matching sectors right now with Larson. Now Portis is actually a little bit faster there in sector 2 than Larson. Not by much, but it was enough. It was more than the gap was when they started. So this is going to be very interesting to watch here. As we have a three-way battle here. A lot of battles going on here at the end of this race. Awfully close. Some drivers that have made changes in tires, some who have not. Friesen being one of the ones that have held their tires, I believe, the whole race, if I'm not mistaken. Has allowed him to gain track position here. Did a splash and dash for fuel. Definitely paying off now, and we'll have to see if it pays off for Larson and Portis here. Looking at the last lap, Portis was 0.3 faster than Larson on the last lap. Could be good for Portis because that was the gap that was between them for most of the laps leading up to the pit stop. Larson coming around, penultimate turn here. Let's see if he goes into the pits. Is he going to do it? And he is not going to the pits. He's going for another lap. And he goes 45.3. That is a good lap from him. See if Portis can do one better. It's Portis now coming across. Watching these guys here. Looks like that battle between Wolf and Turnbull is really helping Friesen out here, maintaining that top 5 position. Portis as he crosses the finish line here is still faster than Larson. About 1/10 of a second faster than Larson the last lap. So it's really coming down to the wire now. Larson's got to have an amazing pit stop for him to maintain position. Or he's got to have some fast laps here, but he is, from what I can see, losing time to Portis right now. And that time would be enough for him to come out in second place for the last part of this race. Friesen been able to pull a gap from Turnbull and Wolf behind. A lot of damage on Turnbull's car there. Wolf might have a chance here, and he does. Turnbull goes wide and gives Wolf the opportune chance to retake P6. Looking at the last lap, Larson 35.7. Let's see where Portis is at. And here we go, Portis crossing the finish line now. Portis goes 45, almost flat. That is 0.7 faster than Larson on the last lap. This is looking very good for Portis. In terms of time in the last few laps, he has gained over a second. Now, we'll have to see how that pans out in terms of how long the pit stops were. Maybe Larson can go for a shorter pit stop. Griffith with a drive-through now. Maybe Larson can go for a shorter pit stop. Maybe Portis was taking that gamble on his fuel consumption. Who knows? But I tend to believe that Larson is going to have to pit soon. Where's Portis now on track? Portis now at the chicane. Larson has not made a pit stop yet. He's doing some extreme fuel saving now. Is he going to be able to manage this with no pit stops? Only 7 minutes left in this race. I cannot believe it. He may be able to manage this without taking a pit stop. I really can't believe it. I really can't believe that he can do this. I think he's got to pit for gas eventually. He just has not done it yet. This is getting awfully close between our drivers now. Fletcher, P11, I think moved on Griffith, looking to make a move on Flores now. These two have been battling. Seems like for a little while now. Flores kind of cuts across there. A little bit iffy there, but keeping it clean. We'll have to come back in to Flores and Fletcher, see where they end up. As Larson cuts the chicane there. I should say cuts, he did it pretty much right on. He's got a lot of clear air now to really open it up. I think he is doing some fuel saving right now, so he doesn't have to fill up with as much when he goes in for his pit stop. Portis is gaining time every lap on Larson. We'll have to see how this pans out. Is Larson going into the pits? He is not. I can't believe this. Is he going to go this whole race without making a pit stop? I don't believe it. Don't believe it. A 35, a 45.7 there. Maybe Portis and them were both doing some fuel saving. Maybe tried to bait Larson into making the pit stop. Hasn't worked yet. 5 minutes left in this race, and it's getting very close between our drivers now. Portis crosses the line. Last lap was a 44.7. That is over a second faster than Larson the last lap. Friesen now, old tires, defending from Wolf, who I believe has fresh tires. Friesen's just got to hold him off on the straights for a few more laps. Watching this battle now before we turn back to Larson here and see if he makes the pit stop here on this lap. Just got to make do with the good defense, as good a defense as he can. Larson not making his pit stop yet. 4 minutes left in the race. Portis is going all out now. Larson might be doing a no-stopper. And as we watch down the start-finish straight, Friesen on the inside, Wolf on the outside. Outside's tough to pass here, but Friesen holds the inside line. It gets a little bit squirrely. It'll give Wolf the opportunity. Wolf will take the spot easily. Friesen demoted down into P6. Still a good performance, though. Just has to maintain now. From Turnbull behind. Get those extra points from position here. Portis now, last lap 44.8. Larson's last lap was a 45.5. Awfully close between our drivers today. Need to watch Larson here. Ooh, 44 car of Polgarin off the road at the kink. Last kink of that straight there. As we go into the final laps of this race, maybe got 1 or 2 laps left. I think Larson will need to take the pits, and he is not going to make a pit stop. Larson is not going to make a pit stop, but he has 2 laps left to go, 2 full laps left to go. Unless he can hold it off, you know, he might be able to here coast and make a very, very slow final lap and go for no pits. Go for no stops. I can't believe it. Larson is in pure coast mode now. Only doing what he needs to. He is coasting the whole way he can. He is losing lots of time. Just have to see how this turns out. Portis now turns around, turn 1, sorry. Friesen has been able to shake Turnbull behind. Turnbull must have had an incident. Friesen looking really good for P6. Fender has Reed behind him, but we'll have to see if he's close enough to make a move. Guaida up into P12 after having to start in the pit lane. Good performance from him so far. Might be able to get one more. And Larson. There he is. One more lap. He is not making a pit stop this race. He is going the whole race on one tank of fuel, one set of tires. Absolutely amazing. All he's got to do is coast too, because Portis, even though he's setting fast laps, just can't make up that time. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Portis having to do some fuel saving of his own now. Looks like it. On his own. Wolf, great top 5 performance from Wolf. Valero, top 5 performance. All on his own there in P4. We'll see if Larson can finish the race now, though. We are down. No time left on the clock. Can he do it? Only a few more turns left in this race. Larson, having made no pit stops, I believe, this whole race, makes the gamble, makes it work, and he'll come away as he rounds the final corner. Winner of double points, Christopher Larson. No pit stops at the Hungaroring for an hour and 30 minutes. What a performance from him. That'll lock in Wolf behind at P5, Friesen P6, Turnbull P7, Fender P8. Got it. Got Reed at the last leg there. Reed P9. Portis. As Portis rounds the final turn. Flores, Fletcher, Guaida, all locked in. Portis P2. Cromier, Brown, Pinio in the back. Finish their race off. All that's left is Baudry, Griffith, Nunez, and Valero. Here we go. Bowdry here, crossing the finish line. P16. Griffith, P17. Nunez, after an early incident, able to make his way back up into the podium positions. Great work from Nunez to secure P3. And last but not least, P4, Valero, having a very consistent race. Great job from Valero to get P4. There you are, folks. That is the race. 90 minutes at the Hungaroring. Really came down to the wire there. What an excellent performance from our winner. Christopher Larson. And congratulations to him and Portis for just having an excellent showing there. Excellent showing. And we'll go here. Free practice is now a go. Return to garage. Look at the timetables here. We'll see some of our big gainers. Definitely Friesen gaining 5 positions to get P6 in the race. Valero gained a position to get P4. Nunez holds. Larson and Portis holds. Englander, don't really know where Englander showed up on this, but I believe he did have an issue. If we go to the race, and yes, P15, he did have an issue because of that stop-go penalty. But overall, a great performance from our drivers today. And a huge congratulations to our winner, Christopher Larson. Second place, Kenneth Portis. And third place, Jose Nunez. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you another night of racing here at ZRL. This was 90 minutes at the Hungaroring. Next week, they'll bring you to Zandvoort. First time they've been there in a while. I will not be available next week, sadly, but there are still more races to go after that. That will extend Larson's lead in the championship, though, and Portis will stay close behind. We'll have to see how everything else pans out when we look at the numbers next time in a couple weeks after the Thanksgiving holiday in the U.S. After that, we'll have round 7. That's when I'll be back. But for now, folks, have a great night, and thank you for tuning in. Another congrats to all of our drivers tonight, to Larson, and to everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.